The question is, what makes a voice powerful and dynamic?
I think that boils down to understanding what are you talking about? What is the subject that you are communicating? Who are you communicating it to? Because a lot of time power is subjective to, first of all, who are you talking to? What are they expecting? And the subject matter. What makes that subject matter powerful, or what makes that subject matter come alive? Because, like I mentioned before with Silence of the Lambs, there's this opening monologue from an old play called War of the Worlds, written by H.G. Wells. It was turned into a movie with Tom Cruise at some point. But back in the 80s, it was done as a play, and Richard Burton narrated the prologue of this pretty scary prologue that basically set up that Earth is about to be invaded by aliens. And that Richard Burton had, his voice was something like, "No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that human affairs were being watched from the timeless worlds of space. Few men even considered the possibility of life on other planets. And yet, across the gulf of space, minds immeasurably superior to ours regarded this Earth with envious eyes. And slowly and surely, they drew their plans against us." And for that, the powerful voice was this very tight, very constricted, very held back. No one would have believed. Like it's a hard kind of sound. It's a little bit like Hannibal Lecter. But for someone who's going to warn the public you're about to be invaded by Martians, that is what has the power. That is what will make them listen. Whereas if you're doing the opening prologue to Beauty and the Beast, you can't go, "Once upon a time in a faraway land, there lived a prince in a shiny," then all the kids are gonna go, that will not hold the same power because it's not proportionate to the message. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
And then you have to switch, and you have to be able to understand, for this, I need to go, "Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a prince in a shining castle." That is the power of the voice for that message, for that demographic, for that audience. What is the message? Who is the audience? So I would say with power of the voice, it starts with understanding, well, yeah, in what context?
But let's say everyday life, at work, in a meeting with colleagues, on a date. What is a confident voice, a dynamic voice?
A confident voice is a voice that travels through space. Meaning, if you're in a meeting room at work, you can see I'm sitting here at work. I have a bit of space behind me. So let's say I'm standing here. The rest of my team is back there at the back wall. So if I want to reach them, it's not so much a matter of how do I want my voice to sound, because trying to talk low and take on the Barry Manilow sexy voice, that might not necessarily do it. Some might, for some it might, you never know. But what will always work is trying to focus not on how low or booming or how efficient do I want it to look, but simply, am I creating a sound that will reach them? And again, if I go back to that guy, if I don't have a microphone, that sound doesn't travel through space. It gets to here and then it stops because there's no There's no output. It's that kind of a voice is a sound engineer's worst nightmare. If you ask a sound engineer at a big speaking event or a big corporate event, say, what's your favorite kind of voice? He says, I just want output. And output means that he gets something into his channel that is a clear signal that he can turn a little bit up or he can turn a little bit down, but he doesn't need to do that much with it. Meaning, he doesn't necessarily need to turn up the volume that much just so that the audience can hear the speaker. That's a sound that travels through space on its own. And that's this kind of sound where it's not too hard, but it's also not too much like this. But because both of them is like talking into a fridge, right? You get into the fridge, but then it stays in there. It just dies in there. It becomes this cubicle kind of sound. So in a corporate world at work, that kind of voice will always be interpreted as a confident voice.
Okay.
People will not notice, they will not be aware of why they find it confidence. They will not be aware that it's because it travels, because it has output, because it reaches them. And I don't know how many times I've been in conversations with people one-on-one, and if they're within like a meter of me, or you're sitting face to face, and then suddenly they say, I can feel your voice physically on my chest. Like I can feel the reverberations of your voice on me, like physically, I can feel it going on my chest. Because sound waves is a physical thing. It's a physical energy. And if it actually comes out with a proper output, it's like waves in water. You know, waves in water will continue, a ripple will continue to flow until it is stopped by something. Like, what's it called? Aqua waves? They don't it's eternal energy. A wave doesn't stop until it's blocked by something. And sound waves function in the same way if they are created with a proper output from the beginning. And that holds such a sense of power and confidence because physically it reaches people. Instead of that, the audience have to feel like they need to lean forward to listen, then it's because the audience actually doesn't reach them. Or the audio, the sound doesn't reach them.
Yeah. This is very interesting because if you're constantly interrupted at work,
Yeah.
or in meetings, or people don't listen when you're talking, it could be that, of course, people might be rude, but sometimes it can also be because of your voice.
Most often. And if you want a really, really cool trick to speak in a way where you are saying to people, don't interrupt me, without saying the words, don't interrupt me, then speak with a voice where you feel like you're trying to actually hit them physically with your voice. Does that make sense? Like,
Can you show us?
Like
give us an example.
The way I'm speaking now, as opposed to before. I did not have sexual relationship with that woman. I'm speaking to within my own bubble. But as soon as I say, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, then the sound that comes out of my mouth will travel through air and it will physically hit them. Physically. The reverberations, the resonance of my voice will physically hit them. And it's something that if you don't have the technique to know exactly how to do that, that's fair enough. But the image of knowing that you're actually able to do that in itself can be quite powerful. If you just have that image of, I know that's possible to do, so let me talk as if that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk so that it's going to physically hit you. My voice is going to hit your face. And what that will say is, don't interrupt me. I don't have to say the words. My voice in itself will say, I'm going to keep talking and I need to finish this.
Is it also being loud?
No.
Or just projection?
No.
We're talking about projection here.
No. Volume has nothing to do with it. It's pure output. Because that's exactly what the sound engineer will say right away. If there's output, I don't have to turn the volume up. They will hear it. And that's why that kind of voice is the sound engineer's worst nightmare, because he knows he has to keep turning the volume up and it's going to keep sounding like crap. Because even though he turns up the volume, the output is still not there. So the sound is still has no effect.
Okay. And so what can I do now? Is it breathe in, hold it, and then speak and hit them with my voice?
Speak as if you are singing, as if there's a tonality to your voice. So if I'm saying, let's go back to Beauty and the Beast. If I say that first couple of lines from Beauty and the Beast as if I'm just talking and don't care. I say, once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a prince in a shining castle. Though he had everything his heart desired, the prince was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. Sounds really engaging, right? And it doesn't, because I'm speaking as if I'm only speaking. But if I say, once upon a time in a faraway land, there lived a prince in a shining castle. Though he had everything his heart desired, he was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. Can you hear the singing in it?
Yeah.
That suddenly there's a tonality to it. I'm saying everything as if, first of all, I'm up prioritizing the vowels of each word. So you don't say, once upon a time in a faraway land with all the consonants, but you're going, once upon a time in a faraway land. You're hitting all the vowels instead, because the vowels can make music. They can make tones. Consonants are just sounds and mostly lips and breath. So if you try to talk in a way where there could be a melody running through the whole sentence, then suddenly you get this sense of, well, then you can start to do all kinds of things with your voice within one sentence. So thinking about tonality, or you could also say melody, if that word resonates better with you, other than just speaking, because that tends to be like a monotonous level kind of venture.
That's the worst of all.
Yeah,
It's like being dead.
yeah.